interactive session with journalists in Lagos. The INEC chairman's reaction followed reservations by Nigerians on the possibility of using the bimodal voter accreditation system in poor network areas as it depended on the telecommunications network to work. Yakubu said the commission will be meeting with the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) on Tuesday on mobile network issues that might affect the transmission of results. He said that Nigerians had nothing to fear about the effectiveness of result transmission in the 2023 general elections using BVAs. The INEC chairman said the agency was liaising with NCC to make sure there will be a seamless transmission of results in the 2023 elections. Former chairman of the 20 local government areas under the aegis of the Association of Ex-Local Government Chairmen of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter, have endorsed Governor Abeokuta for his second term in office. While appreciating this endorsement, Governor Abeokuta said all sectors that have critical impact on the people are given due attention, just as the government has established trust with the people through participatory, inclusive, just, and equitable governance. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
Former chairman of the 20 local government areas under the umbrella body of the Association of Ex-Local Government Chairmen of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter, whose goal is to deepen grassroots engagement, participation in nation's politics, and promotion of the sanctity of the local government. The association, led by its national president, Honorable Albert Ashikpa, have deemed it fit to endorse Governor Abeokuta for its second term bid, having reviewed the activities of the state government and agreed that the current administration has performed creditably and deserves to be given another chance.
We want to come here to show our support to him. So when someone is doing something, you need to encourage him to do more. That is what we are doing now. Just to encourage the governor to do more for the good people of Ogun State.
I had appreciated the performance of this governor, who doesn't make noise, but you see him by the work he does every time. That's why I am here to appreciate him and to assure him that we are together with him.
We are here today to give our total support to His Excellency Dr. Prince Dapo Abeokuta, MFR, because of the things we are seeing him doing positively, and that has positive impact, direct impact on the life of the citizen in Ogun State.
The state chairman of All Progressives Congress, APC, Chief Yemi Shanusi, applauded the ex-chairman for the turnout, saying that the most important thing for them is to deliver not for the governor alone, but also all elections in their various local governments.
I admonish you all to go back to your various local governments and work for the party at all levels so that we can together deliver all the candidates in our local governments. I pray that God will give our governor more strength and wisdom to do better. Where my sister started to mention.
In his remarks, Governor Abeokuta said his administration was clear on its vision to lead a purposeful governance to create an enabling environment through public-private partnership for the state, adding that he had used the past 3.5 years to justify the mandate given to him.
From what I've heard from you and a few people, I think it appears as if we've earned the confidence of our people to serve them for another 4 years, so we can continue to implement these people-oriented projects. It's been deliberate that we must ensure that, like I always say, until every road in Ogun State is tarred, we're not going to stop. Until every road, until every school is conducive for learning, we're not going to stop. Until you can walk from your house to a private healthcare center, we will not stop.
Governor Abeokuta thanked the association for appreciating the modesty achievement of his administration, assuring that they would be involved during the unveiling and flag off of his campaign, which is coming very soon. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
Nigerians have argued that being indebted doesn't mean the country is broke, while others reacted that the country is broke as debt servicing is surpassing revenue. Bolaji Samson seeks Nigerians' views on the statement made by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, that Nigeria is broke. Her report.
We are broke. A short time ago, the federal government asserted that Nigeria is broke as the nation has, over the years, continued to generate revenues monthly. In reaction, many Nigerians say Nigeria is being dressed in borrowed robes and it feels like we are in a recession. In one of the outings of the Minister of Finance and National Budget, Zainab Ahmed, she asserted that Nigeria is not broke, as the nation over the years continued to generate revenue monthly. This assertion has asserted reactions from the public as the question, is Nigeria broke, was thrown at experts.
Nigeria is not broke, but Nigerians are broke. Technically, or let me say officially, before a country or an organization can be declared as maybe bankrupt or broke, which is another word, it must be that they have debts that they couldn't pay.
Yes, Nigeria is not broke. Nigeria is not broke. But the only challenge we have is mismanagement, misplacement of priority. There are multiple wastages, multiple leakages in the resources of Nigeria.
Business analyst Itunu Abiru says Nigeria is getting close to a financial crisis as the government has failed to heed the warnings as the country's debt service cost has surpassed its revenue.
Anytime you have nations talk about debt restructuring or debt rescheduling, then it basically means that there's something wrong with the economy. And with statistics and figures showing that our growth rate, our GDP growth rate has been less than 3% over a consistent period of time, shows that we have not only an economic slowdown, but with the debt to GDP ratio is probably unsustainable. So therefore, we have issues with liquidity. So yes, Nigeria is broke on paper.
In support, others agreed that Nigeria is not broke, has been indebted and been able to service their debt in conventional finance is not being broke. However, they cautioned against the federal government borrowing to fund recurrent expenditure, saying borrowing must be attached to well-priced projects that should be able to pay back their cost. They are worried that the nation's major source of revenue, which is oil and gas, is not enough to sustain the economy amidst other things. Bolaji Samson, Ogtv News.
We sincerely apologize for the mix-up earlier on in the report. And moving to other stories, the federal government says it is working hard to ramp up the number of foreign investors in the various sectors of the nation's economy and also reduce its reliance on debts. Speaking after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari privately in his office, the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, Saratu Umar, explained that government is looking to improve its investment master plan to develop the economy. She disclosed that the Commission is committed to advancing foreign direct investment as well as facilitating import substitution. Meanwhile, the presidency has announced that 9 oil-producing states have received 13% derivation, totaling 625.43 billion naira subsidy and sure-pay refunds from the Federation account in the last 2 years. According to a statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, the states listed to have received the refunds dating from 1999 to 2021 include Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo, and Rivers. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has been appointed Africa's Ambassador for African Agricultural Technology Foundation, AATF, A statement by the communication officer of AATF, Mr. Alex Abuto, shortly after a meeting with the former president in Yenogwa, quoted AATF Executive Director Dr. Canisius Kanangire, saying the appointment was informed by former president's track record of championing agricultural transformation in the continent. The agenda targeted increasing efficiency and profitability in about 12 selected key agricultural commodities, which include cotton, cocoa, cassava, oil palm, maize, soybean, onion, rice, livestock, fisheries, tomato, and sorghum. Businesses from small to medium are now groaning as the rising price of premium motor spirit, PMS, otherwise known as petrol, in Nigeria is taking a heavy toll on both commuters and petty traders. The scarcity of petrol and the surge in its price has increased the costs incurred by many businesses who rely on electricity for income. Ogtv News went round Abeokuta metropolis to look at the situation and its effect on the people.
No lights, no fuel, no water. The situation is very bad. The government should help us.
For about a week now, some parts of Nigeria have been hit by fuel scarcity, and Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, is not left out. Fuel scarcity at this point in time to small business owners is coming at the wrong time, as the people are just coming out of the loss incurred during COVID-19 pandemic.
Of course, it's affecting my business because sometimes the nearest ATM station that I'm supposed to withdraw money, it won't be available, so I have to go to Itako and check it. And when there's no bike, it's not easy for me. And the transport is not something I can afford.
A visit by Ogtv News crew round Abeokuta metropolis revealed that queues are visible in some filling stations, making the stations to be rowdy.
What is it? It's been a very serious one. Work is not being done. I've not been to office for the past 2-3 days, but I was just informed that there's fuel here. I have to rush down here to see probably if I can get fuel into my vehicle. I've been here about 2-3 hours ago now, and we are still hoping that one will be able to get the fuel. So you can see how the whole thing is. So it's been a serious and ethical one, getting fuel. We don't know where we're going in the country.
Few filling stations do not dispense into jerry cans or other containers, but still selling at the official pump price of 179 naira per litre, while some did not sell at all.
I have to send somebody since yesterday to get this at Itaoshi. Although there is not a lot of crowd, a lot of queue at that filling station, but you have to buy at a ridiculous price. They sell at 280 per litre. So if you can buy, they sell at 280, 300. So if you can buy at that rate, about 5, 6, 7 cars. So, but if you cannot buy, you just have to come to all these NMPC or fat bins that sell at the normal pump price. But look at the crowd. Look at the queue.
Others sell at 250 naira per litre. Many of these stations still sell to those who run the black market business.
And in line with our core mandate, the NSCDC is saddled with the responsibility of making sure that during this fuel and scarcity period, maintain peace and order, and to make sure that we prevent any filling station that has this particular PMS product to hoard it, and also prevent them from selling to the black marketers or the bunkers.
Officers and men of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps were on the ground in some filling stations visited to calm the tensed atmosphere.
Meanwhile, Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency, TRACE, has admonished the general public, particularly the motoring public, against driving vehicles with loaded containers filled with petroleum products in view of its attendant consequences. TRACE Commander-in-Chief Executive, Commander Sheni Ogunyemi, stated this while addressing newsmen in Abeokuta. Commander Ogunyemi said, though the country is experiencing the challenge of fuel distribution, which has resulted into queues at filling stations across the state, it is risky and dangerous for motorists especially commercial bus and taxi drivers, to move around with petroleum products in jerrycans inside the boots of vehicles and on passenger seats. Furthermore, the tradesman reminded motorists that as the Ember months peak with the dry season setting in, it is also risky and dangerous for drivers to carry fuel in jerrycans and bottles while on transit, as this may speed up havoc of immense proportion. He noted that if there is need to transport fuel from filling stations to any location, the general public, particularly the motoring public, should use safe fire-resistant line fuel containers, which are safer and better. While he empathized with the motoring public on the prolonged queues and waste of productive man-hours at filling stations as a result of fuel scarcity, the trace boss described the situation as unfortunate, urging motorists across the state to maintain order at petrol stations. Still ahead, National Judicial Council sets